Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. I, of course, am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined by the one and only Jesse.
Hey, folks, you changed the opening in a while. I guess it's been too long.
Have I really?
Mm-hmm, you've changed it. It's a little more dramatic now than it used to be.
What? Right, because, well, I figured that everyone actually likes a little bit of flair. They like my voices, so I figured, the hell, I'll give them some voices.
I'm glad they like your voice.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know who this fine gentleman is here, this is Jesse. He is the third, or part of the three amigos. That is myself, Zeelies, and of course Jesse. If you've been to MomoCon, you've seen all three of us. He's been to Canuga.
I've been to Canuga.
Con Carolina.
A long time ago, I was at Canuga.
Well,
that was, or not Canuga, the other one that failed in
you mean the convention that shall not be named?
Yes,
Yeah.
that one.
No, that one. So yes, hello, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who have never tuned into a Thursday Night Hangout, this is how we usually go. We're going to do a couple of little bits in the front. We're going to give you some stories. And of course, at any time, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or criticisms for us, you can always post your question or whatever in the chat window and we'll pick it up. So ladies and gentlemen, let us start off the show. We started the show off every single week the exact same way, and that is that I get to do the do. So ladies and gentlemen, here it is. I know it's a Which cup. I've gone back to the Which cup. I don't know what happened to my nondescript cup. I'll have to go buy another one. But as many of you know, what I do is I take a little bit of Mountain Dew Red, Code Red, sorry. Man, I am off today. And of course a little Mountain Dew. I'm just so excited to have Jesse on the show. I mean, that's what it is.
That stuff's going to kill you. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's if I actually drink it in excess. You know, this is probably like the 2 or 3 times. This is my second or third time the entire week that I drink this stuff.
Sure it is.
It's okay. I ruined my body with the Kickster instead. Anyways, so once again, anybody know Pepsi or the people behind Mountain Dew? Seriously, I poured this and drink this deliciousness every single week for God knows how many episodes now. Actually, I could probably find out how many episodes if I really wanted to.
Stuff's still going to kill you, though.
Right. Well, anyways.
If you listen to Pepsi, I didn't say that. I didn't.
No. Anyways, let's jump into the show. First of all, we want to start off the show with a shout out to a bunch of indie games that are coming out in the near future, have just been released. So let us start off with a game called LINELIGHT.
So, set in a world made entirely of lines, LINELIGHT 300 levels in 6 worlds are filled with zen-like music, rich gameplay mechanics, and elegant design that distill the puzzle genre down to the very foundation. Take control over one very special line named Dash and explore the puzzles and mysteries of LINELIGHT. The controls are irreducibly simple. Move.
So I have to say, okay, so first of all, interesting, especially since they utilized a word that Jesse and I both had to look up to make sure that it actually existed, and that is irreducible.
A real word.
It is a real word. Let's see here. Let me read a little bit more here. It looks like it has racked up quite a few awards, so this is probably a game that you're gonna at least want to take a little bit of attention to. It is coming out, as Jesse stated, it's coming out for Steam, PlayStation 3, and Xbox One. Currently, it's slated for Q1 of 2017, but of course, nothing is set in stone unless you're Assassin's Creed Unity, and then it don't matter if it's absolutely 100% broken. They're gonna ship that shit. But anyways, just some of the awards that this game has won, just to make sure that you're aware that this is probably a game you need to keep an eye on. We have GameCon 2016, Game of the Year, Bit Awards 2016. Let's see, that's Rising Pixel. Another Bit Award is Best Style, Best PC Console Game nominee. Sorry, those are 2 nominees. Indiecade at E3 was an official selection. Official selection for the PAX East Indie Mini Booth. Official selection for so they were finalists basically in a bunch of different places. Let me see if there's anything else I want to tell you real quick about this thing. They say it's going to take 6 hours to play this game.
It says 300 worlds, so or 300 levels. That can't be that long then per level.
Right. Well, I'm assuming it's just one screen. You're probably trying to solve one screen and on. It's not going to be a drawn out
Level.
right?
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that. Of course, once we get more information, we'll post it on Ultra Confusion, and of course, we're going to be writing something up about this in the very, very near future. So if you want more information, please go over to ultraconfusion.com, and we can give you even more, including the trailer, to wet your whistle a little bit more. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the next game. This game is actually already out. This is Super Dungeon Tactics. It's available on Steam for the PC and Mac. It's based off of the miniatures game by, I want to make sure I get the name of the miniatures company, Soda Pop Miniatures. And that game, the board game or miniatures is called Super Dungeon Explorer. This is called Super Dungeon Tactics. It basically takes the core characters and the tactics and mechanics and brings them into the digital world. Now, the interesting thing about this game, of course, it's going to be an RPG turn-based tactics game. You are going to be controlling a party of characters. There are 15 unlockable characters that you can basically put in and out of your party. I didn't actually see how many people make up your party, but I'm assuming it's probably going to be like the basic 4 or 5. That's usually standard nowadays. The interesting thing is this. So in a lot of the RPG tactics games, you see leveling up through your experience. You know, you put in the battles, you get the levels, whatever. What happens to the characters that are no longer in the battle? I mean, don't battle in that sequence, because if you unlock 15, let's say you can only have 4 at a time, what happens to the people or the characters?
Well, they shouldn't level up. You're not been using them.
So in some cases, some RPGs go with will give them a percentage of the experience. Other ones will say that that they get no experience. But in this game, what's really weird is that the characters don't actually level up. Well, they do, but in a very interesting way. They do a loot-based level system. So what that means is the more powerful the weapon is, the better your character is going to be. So basically, by equipping equipment, your weapon, your helmet, your shield, whatever, that basically boosts up your character.
So there's really no experience. It's just how good your weapon is.
Yes. So basically, if you unlock that character, that probably would be even better than the current one that you have. All you got to do is swap the equipment over to them and then utilize that guy. Now, of course, every single one of these 15 characters does have a unique skill set. So it's not like they're all like cookie cutter and you're just looking for the pretty picture. This game is already out. It is going for $17.99 on Steam, of course, PC and Mac. All right, the next game. Oops, sorry, I gotta actually
flip
do
it
this
over.
over. Yep. The next one is
Don't Feed the Monkeys. This is for Steam 2017, and from what I gather about this game, you are a let's see, Don't Feed the Monkeys will give you the chance to invade the privacy of strangers to witness their most intimate moments. Will intercede in the name of justice and sabotage their dreams, or sit idly by while the world burns. So it seems like a game where you have a lot of control. I don't quite understand who your character is. I've not seen this game yet, but you will be a character who goes around looking into people's houses, seeing what they are doing, and you can either help them or hurt them depending on what you feel like doing. It kind of gives you that power to do whatever you want to do, how you're feeling that day. It's very much your emotion-based game.
Yeah, so it's a little bit weird. So, I mean, it's basically like a voyeur's wet dream, okay? So basically, actually, to be honest with you, one of the things that I really equate it to is it's like doing the basically what the vast majority of people do in The Sims. You know, where basically you get to a point in The Sims where you're just like, okay, I'm just going to kill everyone. But it seems a little bit darker because you not only get to see them. Okay, so here's the really like creepy thing. You don't only see them on like computer screens. You can also like basically break into their emails, follow them on social media, and then you can literally, like if they're doing shady shit, you can go, hey, you're doing shady shit. Or you could be like, hey, dude, by the way, someone's watching you, be careful.
It's a little creepy. It's a little weird.
Yes. Now, okay, so to make this game interesting, there are 3 components, 3 resources you have to keep an eye on. One is money. I'm assuming that it might actually be more of like a Truman Show type of situation, because I wouldn't understand how you would be making money by people being there. So I'm assuming that you're watching to make sure shit doesn't go really crazy, and maybe someone else is watching like on TV or something. But of course, you can also intercede and do stuff. Now, you're going to get money, and the money you can either use to pay your rent or to add more rooms, or cages, as it were. The second thing, another one is your health. So apparently, by overworking, you can get yourself sick. And if you're not sick, you can't operate the system well. And the last one, which I think kind of like interconnects with the health, is sleeplessness. The harder you work, I'm sure you get more money. However, you probably will just drop out and like snore, sleep, whatever. So it's weird, but of course it's coming out in 2017. They have not set a date besides the year 2017. But I have to say that I at least want to take this for a test spin. I want to see how creepy this is going to be. Like, I mean, I'm going to be honest, it's going to be creepy. I mean, it screams creepy.
I feel like they've set really high standards on what intimate is.
Yes.
And then you're kind of like, what is it? So if they don't get as intimate as you want, it's going to be a little bit strange. And
now, I will tell you, this is the same company that created a game called Dead Synchronicity. Is it Dead Synchronicity? I just want to make sure I'm saying this right. Yep, Dead Synchronicity. So the graphics are not going to be photorealistic. It's going to be stylistic, okay? They have a certain specific type of style when they do their games. It's not going to look like Dead Synchronicity from my understanding, but it's going to fit the kind of like, I don't know, creepy, sleazy voyeur person? I don't know. So anyways, be on the lookout for Don't Feed the Monkeys. We'll, of course, when we get more information, we will provide it to you so that you can be fully informed on when this game's coming out, and we will once again be writing this up on Ultra Confusion so that you can get even more information, including the trailer, so you can see what your first impressions might be. All right, the final game, and I'll let Jesse take the lead on this one as well,
is Vostik Inc. It's coming out on Steam, PS4, the Vita, and Xbox One. And as a newly appointed CEO of Vostik Incorporated, you have one goal: to become filthy, stinking rich. Piloting your very own ship, explore and exploit more than 40 planets across 6 different solar systems in your quest to earn ludicrous amounts of moolah. So basically what this sounds like is you are going to go through space in your spaceship, and you are going to extract resources out of each different planet. And as you have to go and gain weapons to fight off aliens that are trying to stop you from exploiting these planets. It kind of has a little bit of a Mass Effect-ish type feel meets Starship Troopers, kind of, where you are on an alien planet, you're not supposed to be there, you're trying to steal the riches, I guess, as well, a little bit of Avatar-ish kind of there, so you probably are going to be stealing unobtainium.
or something close to it.
Or something close to it.
It'll be like ultra awesome tanium.
And you have to fight off the aliens as you are going to make money.
Okay, so real quick, we have a topic that's been dropped into the chat room, and it is No Man's Space. Okay, so I don't know how close or how, Jesse, if you know anything about No Man's Space.
I do not. No.
All right, so No Man's Space was this game that had a lot of potential, had a lot of promises, and then basically when the game was released, it had like bare bones of what they promised. So a lot of people are actually going towards a false advertisement suit. Now, of course, No Man's Sky, the developer of No Man's Sky, has now made efforts to try to improve by adding new modules to improve the experience. Subway Kid for the game. So, okay, so I will say this: it still isn't where it needs to be when it comes to No Man's Sky. However, I am really happy by the simple fact that The developer, yes. Did they screw the pooch? Should they have held off until they actually were able to give all that they promised? Probably.
Is this No Man's Space or No Man's Sky?
What did I say? No
You
Man's...
meant No Man's Space, but then you said No Man's Sky as well.
Oh, shit. Hold on.
So,
oh, my God.
because I heard of No Man's Sky, it was supposed to be released, I guess, August time, and people were really excited about it. It ended up being flopping.
No Man's Sky, I'm sorry. So, yeah, No Man's Sky. I was right. But yes, the thing is, needs to make multiplayer. Yes. And it's one of those games where I think potentially it could get there. And I'm really excited by the fact that the developers, instead of basically curling up into the fetal position, because I'm going to tell you right now, the consumers went at them hardcore.
Well, they should.
Well, right, because it's false advertisement. Right. Look, if you're going to promise people something, you have to deliver on it when you release the game. Now, of course, if you want to go the... real quick, Wag Kid says, oh, wait, it's Jesse, the comic relief.
I am the comic release. I'm also the good-looking one.
Yes. Real quick, I'm very hopeful that the developers of No Man's Sky continue to do what they do. But for future reference, if you are an indie developer, make damn sure that the core of your game is something that is obtainable by the deadline you set for yourself. And if you want to add the extra pieces that are going to make it amazing, you hint towards them, but say that it's going to be in an upcoming patch. You don't want to fall flat on your face. You do not want to piss a lot of people off, especially if you're a small studio, because in this day and age, you could literally be decimated by one bad trip. So that's my thoughts on No Man's Sky. I have not played it. I was thinking about it, and then everyone was like, pitchforks and fire. And I was like, okay, I'll hold off just to see what happens. First of all, it's already been a much better experience than a game that I actually purchased called Elemental War of Magic.
You're bringing that back? That's like 7 years running
now.
No,
but I'm just saying, it's that type of game. Or hell, you want to go with a game that has a lot of potential but may never, ever, ever see actual release, you have to go with Star Citizen. Star Citizen, by the creator of basically the mind behind Wing Commander, is of course an MMO that has gone way out of control with all its stuff, and it probably never see the light of day. But it's got like, I don't know, like $80 million now, and they're selling like in-game only ships for like 30,000 actual dollars. But anyways, all right, so let's move on to the next one. And this is a question that I posed to Jesse as well as the audience. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring it up. Remakes and remasters, are they really needed? Mr. Jesse.
Ooh. You know, it's one of those things that I always say no to, and then sometimes I'm surprised, because sometimes, especially with the new technology, a remaster can look very good compared to the original, and sometimes you say, you know what, that looks really good. But overall, no. I just think, like the movie industry, the video game industry is running out of ideas, and so they're trying to throw whatever they can out there to keep themselves afloat until they can get their next somewhat original idea out there.
Okay, so, all right. So I'm sure that everyone's heard my thoughts, but I'm going to throw it out there anyways. I do not like the thought process of remasters in this game society or whatever. What they do with remasters is they literally take an Xbox 360 game and they make it look prettier on the Xbox One. To me, that should be backwards compatibility, if you're going to do that. Now, however, I'm not going to get into the backwards compatibility argument. I could go on both sides, whatever. Remakes could be interesting. However, when you try to do a remake or a reboot of a series, let's say Final Fantasy VII is a great example. One of the problems you're going to run against is when you have a game that is definitely quite a few generations older than the current gen console, is that you run the risk of nostalgia basically being destroyed. Mm-hmm. Because you remember things, and over time you fill in gaps in the gameplay because, oh my God, this game was so amazing, the graphics and the story. And if you were to go back, you'd probably be like, what the fuck was I smoking when I was playing this game? Which, of course, I didn't smoke. I don't smoke. But I'm just saying, people are like, I don't remember the game being like this. So that's one of the risks you run. Now, of course, I am always a fan of create original content. However, because of the rising fees needed for a game to be created, that ain't gonna fly. So you're not going to see people, or excuse me, large companies trying out new ideas, because even they could be sunk by a bad game. Because
So you're telling me it's money making?
yes, absolutely. Oh God, yes. Which is why you should support the indie developers. Now, I'm not going to say that all the indie developers are good, but if you come to alterconfusion.com, we're going to try to help you navigate through the crap and give you some good games to look at, or perhaps some games that look potentially awesome but actually stink. That's what we try to do.
You know, it's tough, I think, to always find an original idea, though. Even like things that we think are amazing
Right.
are probably based out of something else.
Well, of course, but the thing is, are the developers able to take a core concept, a very known concept, very recognizable concept, and can they mold it into such a way that's either feels unique or it's so well polished that people want to, basically get sucked into the game. Because yes, the match 3 mechanic, oh dear God, match 3 everywhere. You can do animals and fruit and candy and soda and gems and monster faces, but what does your game do to distinguish itself from the rest of the crowd? And if you do that well, that's where, because first person shooter, it's first person, you're gonna be holding guns. What type of guns are you gonna be using? How are you gonna be aiming? Can you crouch? Can you jump? What kind of enemies are you gonna be going against? What kind of levels? What kind of story? If you basically check off a lot of that stuff, you can make it look original because you're causing the consumer, the player, to be drawn into the game. If the consumer's constantly going, yeah, this is kind of like this, no, that looks like this, then you're not doing your job.
I don't know. I think games need to find something else. I think they've kind of run the course of types of gameplays they can do, and now they're trying to figure out stories to fit into the back of it.
Right. Well, okay. So I agree and I disagree. I think that a lot of the indies are still willing to give you story. However, I think that a lot of to cut down cost, I think a lot of the AAA title studios are actually trying to go away from having story, because that's actually one of the biggest components of a budget. Because when you're talking story, you're going to need writers, and of course, in this day and age, you're going to need cinematics. You're also going to need dialogue, and vast majority of the time, you're going to be utilizing scenes that you only see once, or maybe twice. Which is why a huge component of a lot of the single player, survival or adventure games, they have you go back to stages once you've gained an extra ability or something, so that there's more reason to have that scene there, which is huge in the latest Tomb Raider game, because you can, even though bridges have been blown up and cave openings have been covered, you can still go back through the campsite fires and go to previous sites that you couldn't do stuff, because they want you. First of all, it allows for additional gameplay, and it definitely gives the perfectionist, the one who's trying to get the 100% completion, it gives them something else to do. Now, you don't have to go back, but it's a great option to have, so that people have, they get lost. Hello, I'm sorry, Creeper Love from Game Duck. Sorry, the screen's a little,
You're blind.
Yeah,
You're blind.
I'm blind.
You're blind.
So anyways, I think that when you do remakes and remasters, I think there has to be something absolutely different about it. It can't just be like a cut and paste and make it prettier, because you're going to have you're gonna ruin everyone's nostalgia. Now, of course, let's talk about the fact that we have like 3 Spider-Mans in the past 12 years, 3 different reboots of the Spider-Man movie franchise.
There's another one coming.
No, I'm just
It
saying.
looks good. It looks good.
You've got that. You got Fantastic Four, which still looks like shit.
They'll make a good one eventually. They'll just have to keep trying.
No, I'm gonna. This is hilarious, and at the same time, I'm being totally serious. Do you know what the best Fantastic Four movie has been in forever?
No.
The Incredibles. It is.
It is. You're
No,
true.
look,
They're
seriously,
making another one too, and it's going to be good.
The Thing is Mr. Incredible. Mr. Fantastic is Elastigirl. The Invisible Girl is
Scarlet or whatever her
Violet.
name is. Violet.
and then okay, so Dash really isn't the Human Torch, but
You get it.
that's that's it. That's it. It's why are you have okay now that Marvel and Disney
Are
are
together.
together, they need to find whoever wrote the Incredibles movie and be like, just replace your 4 characters and put the Fantastic Four characters in there, and let's make a freaking good movie for once.
Well, they are. They're making an Incredibles 2.
Well, yes, I know. I'm so excited too. I am so excited, and to be honest with you, I am so excited that I actually finally found the Incredibles on Blu-ray. That's hard as shit. Disney, stop locking shit up in the vault. Just make it available, you assholes. All right.
But they can make more money locking things in a vault.
I know, which is the same
And they do a
mentality
limited
as why,
release, and
which is why it's the same mentality as when you have the reason why a lot of the consoles don't have backwards compatibility. 1, it's really hard to do, and 2, if you want to have that nostalgia effect, you can go to the digital store and buy yourself an updated, optimized copy. So, and this is yet another way to kind of go around the used game sales thing and give GameStop the double bird, which I'd give GameStop the double bird anyways. But okay, so moving on to the next one. It is such a good movie. All right, so I don't know if you guys have heard or not, but there's a game that came out oh so recently called Super Mario Run. It is, of course, the first original Mario game to appear on the iOS. Now, a lot of people have had a plethora of opinions about this game. First of all, it is free to download. You get to play the first 3 levels for free. However, if you want to play the rest of the game, which I think is a total of 6 total worlds, you have 3 levels and then 1 boss castle. So that's 24 levels in total. It's $9.99, which a lot of people are like, oh my God, it's $10. What the shit? Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a simple question. If you were to go to any type of store and you buy yourself a white t-shirt, it's like $2.99 because it's just a white t-shirt. Now let's say that you go to the same store, but you put a very recognizable logo on it. Let's just say for just the hell of it, let's put,
we were talking about Disney. Let's do Marvel.
okay, Wolverine. You put Wolverine on the t-shirt. Now it's $12.99, okay? Because it's licensed. So when you see Super Mario Run is $9.99, it's because it's Mario and Nintendo. If it was a ripoff, it would be like $1.99 at the most. Now, what do you get with this game? So you get the ability to do those 24 levels. And there's also something called Rally. And Rally is basically you take on random Nintendo random Super Mario Run users, and you try to, oh my God, Zelius is on! You basically go up against other users to see who gained the most coins in that world.
I go with the ripoffs too, Zelius, because it's just easier and cheaper, and if I don't like the game, I didn't waste $10.
Right. So one of the things that I think a lot of people have an issue with is the simplicity of the game. Okay, so Super Mario Run. So you are absolutely 100% you're Mario. All right.
Come on home from Hawaii.
Zelius, we're going to mute you, sir. I don't care about the crashing waves in Hawaii, okay? You're 100% Mario. Absolutely. The run part is, I think, why a lot of people are pissed off because you're paying $9.99 for it. So in this game, you basically go, 3, 2, 1, start. And then Mario runs from left to right. And you just watch, and then when Mario needs to jump, you tap the screen. Now, if you are just doing slight elevation changes or you're coming right at an enemy, Mario will automatically hurdle the enemy, or...
You don't have to tap?
Nope.
Well, that's
the only time that you have to tap is when you're trying to hit one of the blocks or when there's a big jump. Like at the end of the level where you're trying to grab the flag, like the original Mario, or when you're trying to jump over a huge chasm, or perhaps there's a nice... there's a coin that you need to time your jump perfectly for. And also, the longer you put your finger down, the higher you're going to jump. You get to a certain point, an apex, and then it comes down. And the weird thing is that you also get style points. So what you could do is, while you're in the air, once you've released, you could tap it, and he does like a swirl or a flip or something, and everyone goes, yay! And you get style points, which are greatly important in the rally part of the game, but in the main part of the game, doesn't mean crap. Okay, but here's the weird thing, okay? So when you're doing the rally, you're, of course, trying to beat your opponent by who can get the most coins. But the other mechanic is that whoever wins gains more toadstool people, okay? And there's there's I think 4 different colors. There's red, green, blue, and purple. Can you download it on mobiles like phones? Well, it's on iPhone. I don't know. I can't remember if it's on...
I think it's Android.
It might be
now
Android
too.
as well. So it's got to be a smartphone. But so you got those 3 different, I guess, I don't want to say races, but you have the 3 different hat colors. And then once you gain enough, you can then build a house that correlates with that hat color. And it's just like...
It sounds kind of useless.
It is. It's just like,
Doesn't do
I'm
anything
in my
for you.
kingdom pretty. Like, yay. No.
Is that the voices people like?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. Shit, no. I do voices. It just comes out. I don't try to stop. I don't try to limit myself with trying to figure out what works or not. So anyways, Super Mario Run. A lot of people are pissed about it. I think, but at the end of the day, it is a Mario game, and it is playable on your cell phone, so that's something.
I feel like they copped out from doing an actual Mario game that you have controls to run through a level on.
Well, I think one of the biggest hurdles that any game is going to hit, especially one that's so ingrained like a Mario or maybe like a Sonic or a Zelda or a Crash Bandicoot or whatever other games are out there, is that you want to... Yeah, it's a test run.
It is a test run.
You want to be able to have that tactile, feedback of I'm pushing the buttons. However, with the iPhone or an Android phone or hell, even the tablet, yes, I know, the future is the touchscreen. Sure, keep telling yourself that. I hate the touchscreen, okay? The minimal amount of me touching the screen is better for me because I have humongous hands, okay? So if you're telling me I've got to do multiple taps with my big ass fingers on the screen, I'm not going to be able to see the damn screen. So, oh, for the love of God, Zelius.
But
Zelius
Zelius, it is about making more
prison.
money.
Yeah,
it is about making more money. It's about holding on till they can see what works or doesn't work.
Well, okay, so they know that by name alone, people are going to buy Super Mario. And that's really what it is. And yet you're playing games on your phone how much? A shit ton. A shit ton. But,
usually
like I
when I'm in the
said, it's
bathroom.
minimal. I have a touch screen. Okay, so I'd be very interested. So I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't know how... Are you allowed to utilize your touch computer screen in a point-click game? or would you still have to utilize the mouse? That would be interesting.
Yeah.
If you, oh my God, Creeper's Love from Game Duck. No, if you can basically utilize the touchscreen instead of the mouse, that would be phenomenal. I would love to know because I don't know. But that would be interesting. That would allow for some interesting precision, I would think. Though I don't know about the latency. Like how long does it take me for
the tap to go?
Tap? Yeah.
I don't know. Only one way to find out.
Yeah, and I don't have one, so I will lean on you. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, if at any time you have any topics or thoughts or whatever, you of course can drop them in the chat room, and we will present them. Okay, so the next one is kind of like just a heads up, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, Ultra Confusion is always looking to do conventions, and we always have our lineup of conventions. We now have, I believe, an almost finalized list. There's one final convention that's a little bit up in the air. But this is what we have now. We're going to be in Chattanooga for Con-Nooga in February. That, of course, is a general fandom convention. It happens at the Chattanooga Convention Center as well as the Choo Choo. So be on the lookout for both. So be on the lookout for that. We'll have a fan table, and of course, we'll be presenting 2 panels. We will be all over the place. So come find us. Come hang out with us. Let's talk games. Let's talk video games. Let's talk about whatever. We are there for you. Oh my gosh. Okay, so boom. Okay, the next one is MomoCon, which happens at the end of May. It's in Atlanta. It's at the Georgia World Congress Center. This will be our 5th year?
5th or 6th year.
Something
Fifth
like that.
year.
5th year?
5th year.
5th year? Anyways, MomoCon is phenomenal. It keeps growing exponentially every single year, and
They're having 2 convention halls this year, aren't they?
Yes, I am so excited, and it's an awesome convention. It used to be more, it's still more angled towards anime, but it's definitely gained a lot of general fandom traction over the years, or I guess they've evolved with more. And oh god, it's so good. It is so good.
It is a good convention.
If you can go to MomoCon, absolutely freaking go to MomoCon. It is amazing. The next one, I try and do this off the top of my head. So this past year we did Con Carolina. We will not be going back to Con Carolina.
I actually liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
Well, the problem was
it was back to back.
Yes, it was back to back.
It was rough.
If it was not back to back with MomoCon, we would be doing Con Carolina. But my body literally cannot handle that.
It hurt because I did that one with you. I did them both.
Man, it was hard. I was dead every single day. So unfortunately, we will not be there. What we will be doing is we will be once again attending Big Fandom Greenville, which will be happening in November. I know it's a huge break. We'll be doing MomoCon in May, and we won't have another convention until November, which is that right? Yes, I think that's right. Gotta hope it is, because...
Well, didn't you do it in August? No.
No, I don't think so.
There wasn't.
I think we were contemplating something in August. I think it fell through.
Yeah.
So we'll be in Greenville for Big Fandom Greenville in November, and then finally a new one, which I'm still trying to get this is the one that's a little bit up in the air. I'm trying to iron out all the kinks. It actually happens in December, and that is Comic-Con Jekyll.
Comic-Con Jekyll. Interesting.
So I'm trying to figure out what exactly needs to happen for us to be there, and if we can work it out, then we will be attending that as well. God, I still feel like there's a convention I'm missing. But anyways, if I'm missing one, I'm sure I'll update you on it. But anyways, be at one of those conventions, and of course, if you want to know about some amazing conventions that you need to check out, keep an eye out on, that may be a little bit more than what Ultra Confusion is doing, I highly recommend going over to Nerd Nation magazine. They've got an entire list of conventions they're going to, and the vast majority of that list are going to be like kick-ass conventions that you have to attend. However, I don't know if, Nerd Nation magazine will still have Big Fandom Greenville on their thing. They just won't be reviewing it from here on out because they've become the co-sponsor of Big Fandom Greenville to keep it rocking next year. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the next topic. Okay, so this next one is about a pencil and paper RPG that went through Kickstarter, and Zelius and I got to play an exclusive closed door test session, which was 2 hours long, which was awesome. And I, of course, did some dumbass shitting, but that's usually, I'm par for the course when it comes to mergers and acquisitions. It's basically, so it is a tabletop game. You create a character and you are in a work office environment. And basically you're trying to sabotage, backstab, do whatever it takes to move up the corporate ladder. And every single character has different skills, and this system is based off, it's really based off of storytelling. It's more important about the actions you take than the combat that you do. It's not combat driven. It's about the stupid shit you do that either completely backfires on you or is the most amazing thing you have ever done. And the Kickstarter completed a while ago, and Craig Campbell, the creator of Mergers and Acquisitions, has been working diligently to try to get the rule book out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can go to Drive Through RPG, and you can order your copy today. I highly recommend that you check out this game. I think we actually have the play test on our YouTube channel. Actually, just Google Mergers and Acquisitions. It's an awesome game. And of course, the special version that we got to play was a little twist on Die Hard, where we got to play 4 of the Office people. The only difference between the Die Hard movie and the playthrough was that John McClane got shot in the head at the beginning of the playthrough, so there was no John McClane.
That's no fun.
Right.
But that takes the whole point of Die Hard out.
No. But there was some interesting mechanics in there that made me laugh my ass off, and I actually won the entire thing. And I ended up playing. I cannot remember the dude's name to save my life, but I was the character, the smooth talking guy, who's like, yeah, I'm best friends with John McClane.
You weren't Carl Winslow?
No, I wasn't Carl Winslow.
Oh.
No. I was that slick dude, who.
Yeah.
It's like, don't say you're my friend! No! But I ended up winning the whole thing.
Good. Not Carl Winslow, though.
No, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Oh, side note, Carl Winslow. I know it's totally off topic, but I was going through the internet about like some of the worst yet best pranks pulled by eBay purchases. So someone was looking for Call of Duty Black Ops. And they weren't really paying that close attention. So they got a game that said Carl on Duty Black Cop. And it's a picture of Carl Winslow like this.
That's awesome.
Great! Oh man, it's good. But anyways, check out Mergers and Acquisitions. You can go to nerdburgergames.com to find out about this game and every other game out there. But it is officially out for consumption. Now,
Zelius, your puns are bad.
He's always
Terrible, Zelius.
He's always bad. Okay, so real quick, since I did bring up Mergers and Acquisitions, I do want to bring up, Craig Campbell is the creator of Mergers and Acquisitions. He's also working on a new game called Capers, which is a 1920s, what was Prohibition, 1920s?
1920s, yes.
It's a 1920s Prohibition based game where you are an individual who has, I wouldn't say like superhuman powers, but you have specific skills that are not
You have certain
normal.
skills.
I have a certain set of skills. Yeah.
Zelius,
basically.
yes, you should be sad. Your puns are bad.
So, anyways, like I said, here's the
Only on
the
you,
URL
Zelius.
www.nerdburgergames.com. Check it out. You'll find out information about Mergers and Acquisitions as well as Capers. Since I went right into fans of the show, let me just put this out of the way. Another project that Craig Campbell works on is called the Nerdburger Podcast. It's a geeky podcast that basically takes general geekdom and just throws it up on a podcast. I believe it's every single Tuesday release one. It's him and his cohort, Mike. It's actually a lot of fun. I actually met them at AndoCon, which unfortunately, rest in peace, AndoCon, has now disappeared into the ether. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, at any time, if you have any topics, you could drop them in the chat room and we will pick them up and add them to the show. But if y'all don't have any, I'm just going to go through the rest of the quickly through the rest of the friends of the show, and then we'll move on. An author that you have to check out is Louis Pasteur III. He writes a series called Saga of Ukamog. I highly recommend you read it. It's 3 books and 1 novella. The novella, of course, has a slightly different aspect of the series, but holy crap, if you are into like sci-fi fantasy, you at least have to give this dude, a look. Shut your pie holes. Thank you, Nakamoto. White Kid 47, which I don't know if he's still here or not, but this dude is like everywhere when it comes to anime conventions. If you are going to an anime convention, see if White Kid 47 Network is going to be there. If he is, you need to sign up so he can do your photo shoot, because you'll be amazed. One of the podcasts that we've all met thanks to Kanuga is Vitamin Geek Podcast. You can find them at vitamingeekpodcast.libsyn.com. It's some kind of library thing. They are general nerddom, but more towards like the horror genre. And then finally, another indie writer and tabletop creator, and that is Derek Kamal. You can find all of his information at shorelessskies, that's one word, .com. And he's got a book called Homes and a game called The Dig, which all has the center race of that is the dwarfs. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I will open up the floor to topics, but Jesse, if you have any topics, of
I
course you
don't.
can. All right, so while we wait for you lovely audience members, I do have a question for Mr. Jesse. Mr. Jesse recently became the proud owner of a new console.
Oh, finally.
So I have to ask, sir, what do you like about the console or what you don't? Tell me about the PlayStation 4.
I got a $280 Roku. People call it a PlayStation 4, but it actually does lots of fun apps and things. It's good. So far, I really like it. I just have Uncharted 4. I don't have any money to do anything else. I've got to I guess eventually get into a new style of gaming and play online. I don't particularly like that, but I guess I'm forced to. I also use it for Netflix and Hulu. It's not really a game console anymore. But it's good. I mean, it's slim, it's sleek. It's funny because I remember the controversy when it first came out that it was just a small black box. And now with the new generation, it's even smaller black box.
Now, I will tell you this. I have been paying attention to the PlayStation, was it View? The little like cable box accessory. And I'd be very, very interested to see
what it does.
To see how good it is. I know that a lot of people have, of course, cut the cord with the cable company, and they've gone over to, I think it's called Sling TV.
Yes.
Which is the internet provider, which you can basically a la carte your way through it. Of course, there are certain packages you have to get the range of channels, which is, unfortunately, that's how companies work, especially with ESPN. You got to get like the Disney Ocho Cinco Nuevo channel, even if you have no desire. If you're like a single male bachelor and you want all the ESPN, you're going to get that weird Disney channel that you're never going to watch, but that's part of the deal so that the price goes down. Zelius, as people are complaining that Steam is becoming overrun with crapware like the iOS store, 40% of all games on Steam have been released in the last year alone. Okay, so yes. Because of the simplicity of releasing your game onto Steam, it is being flooded. There's more people who think that they can make a game, and they're rushing it out onto Steam to try to beat the competition, wherever the hell the competition is. Because let's be honest, everyone is competition, so it really doesn't matter when you release it. If it's a good game and you know how to market, you'll be fine. If you don't know how to market, doesn't matter how many games you put on any platform, no one's going to find it.
People just try to get their games out there to see what happens, hopefully to produce themselves to get a better game or a better job, because that's how the industry works. You've got to produce a game, get it out there, and hopefully then you can say, I made this, I put it on Steam, let's see what happens.
So I agree and disagree with that. I think that, yes, it is important that you do create your own original IP and put it on some platform, be it iOS, Android, or PC. However, I think that if you're looking to get a job within the game industry, one of the biggest components that's happening now is in the modification community. What that is you basically utilize the engine that the game has, just like Unity or Unreal or whatever, or Crysis, and you basically create like a new way of playing the game. You create a new level, whatever, and you utilize that, because the vast majority of the companies that you would probably be applying to are going to utilize one of those 3 systems. So if you already show that you're very familiar and you have some polish to that, to your skills within that set, that's a huge leg up. However, if you're able to basically build a game from the ground up utilizing that system, that's even a bigger leg up, because then you don't have as many building blocks to start with. So the Steam thing, this goes back to the old argument of, should Steam have a gatekeeper? And that's actually a really tough question. I think it's one of the things that Steam has been trying to like kind of navigate around. They don't really want to have someone who goes, you're good, but no, sure, I don't think so, because they don't want to stifle creativity. And also because there are so many other digital platforms that are trying to make their mark in in that arena, they don't want to allow anyone to gain any traction. So they're allowing basically anyone and everyone to throw their game onto the system. Now, of course, one of the good things about Steam over the iOS store is that in the iOS store, unfortunately, the shit floats up to the top, which means that you'll be inundated by just crappy ass games when you're trying to find something. Now, one of the tricks that a lot of developers use on the iOS marketplace is they try to get as close to a name as a popular title. So let's just say Angry Birds. So you basically go, I don't know, Perturbed Pigeons. Someone's gonna be dumb enough to go, oh yeah, that kind of sounds like Angry Birds. Maybe I heard it wrong. Okay, yeah, okay. The thing is, no one is going to be able to stop every single clone. So that individual, whomever made that shit-tastic game, is going to get a little bit of money. And if they, of course, that's one of the other reasons why you try to push out as much product as possible, because you're thinking, okay, I didn't spend much time. Peace out, Zelius. Peace off. Peace out, Zelius.
Dinner. It's only like, what?
Who knows?
4 o'clock there? Whatever.
Anyways, it's unfortunate that a lot of developers feel like the more shit they throw on something, the more likely something's going to stick, instead of trying to refine their skills and create a polished product to put it out there. The one fear is that when you do put a product on any platform, is that it gets buried in all the other turds. Here is it's a very good way to try to not have that happen, and that is marketing. I know developers do not have money for marketing. We're not talking AAA titles who have like millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. We're talking about developers who are probably eating ramen and hopefully have something other than water to drink. That they're like, okay, that's it. We're on a shoestring budget. I mean, we put all our money into the game. Here's the game. Please play it. Never fall for the adage of the product will speak for itself. That will never happen. Never. 1, you don't have a recognizable name. 2, even if you had a recognizable name, if no one knows your game's out there, they still ain't gonna find it. So what do? If you're an independent developer and you want to see how well your game will actually do, or if it's really worth anyone's time, I know this is gonna be crazy and it's really gonna hurt some feelings, but you need to go find reviewers and have them review your game, and then basically have your your Steam page or your iOS page, and have the link to hopefully a good review on that thing, because that gives credibility. But don't stop there. bug the shit. I know a lot of people get really pissed off about this, but bug the shit out of people. Your friends, family, loved ones, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, whatever the fuck else is out there, Snapchat. Make people aware of it. Hopefully, one of your friends, family, will find it in their heart to share your stuff instead of just liking it. Because, yeah, it's nice to have people like your...
Be able to take criticism. Don't just
too.
say, hey, Mom, I made a game. Your mom's going to tell you she loved it. Even if it's terrible, she'll tell you she loved it. Take criticism. Take that criticism and change things. That's the only thing way we grow.
One of the things that I will say is that there are a lot of reviewers out there who will kick the little man when they're down. I personally pride myself with being able to take whatever the product is and be constructively critical about that product, even if it's absolute shite. Case in point was there was an arcade slot machine game. This gentleman, the developer, thought that this game was going to be awesome, it was going to be amazing. I took one look at it and I said, no, it's not. But if you want me to review it, I'll review it. And he goes, oh yeah, it's going to be awesome, it's going to be awesome. So I reviewed it. I believe I gave it a 1.8 out of 10. It's basically an intro to Visual Basic. It's basically like the final project for the class Intro to Visual Basic. I mean, it's literally what it is. But the thing is, what I hope to do every single time that I review a game is I hope that when I have, critiques, that I give it to that developer in such a way that they understand. It's not, this game is shit, don't play it. It's, this game unfortunately missed the mark because of A, B, C, all the way to Z, if necessary. I want to help the developers. That's what Altered Fusion is all about. It's helping the developer be the best that they can be. Unfortunately, Axel Thumb cannot get on Twitch, so I am going to read his stuff here. He states, you are a good reviewer due to your QA background and dev background. Well, yes, that is, I do have a unique set of skills. Once upon a time, I was a developer. I helped create, professionally, I helped make mobile games. And then, of course, I've been a QA tester because I'm OCD since, like, I guess, birth or something. I have created my own games, board games, pencil and paper RPGs, of course, digital games as well. And I pride myself at basically trying to poke at products in ways that probably are not intended to be poked at. And my favorite comment that makes me smile from ear to ear is, well, no one would do that. In which I can easily reply, I just did.
And if you did it, somebody else will do it too.
I mean, I like to think of myself as a unique snowflake, but let's be honest. Actually, technically, there's no such thing as a unique snowflake. There's just like...
I work with unique snowflakes. If they can do something, anybody else can do it too. They are wonderful, but they can do it too.
But of course. So, moral of the story is, yes, there as programs and engines get easier to use and manipulate, you're going to have a lot of people who are going to try to bum rush the shit out of every single platform. But of course, there are certain platforms where they do regulate, they do verify before putting your stuff on there. Sometimes there's still shit that kind of falls through the cracks and gets there, but they are trying really, really hard to try to slow down that flow. I know that Steam has been humongous on Greenlight. It's basically they're trying to greenlight this project by people saying, yeah, make this game, or no, don't do it. And I know there's been a lot of controversy behind people paying for the pledges, or you have a bunch of people who get incentives to do do it, because the promise of you'll get a free key once this game is actually made, which means that Steam doesn't actually get any money. One of the things that developers need to understand is no matter what the platform is, whatever the price is, you're not going to get that price. Okay? The vast majority of if you want to know the financial breakdown, the vast majority of platforms goes as this. So you have 100% of so if you're going to we'll just say $1, because this is going to be much easier for me to do in my head on the fly. Say your product is $1, okay? You put it on the iOS platform. Someone buys that. You get 70 cents of that. It's usually a 70-30 split, unless somehow you're just that awesome, you're able to pull it 80-20. But usually it's a 70-30 split. So you make some money, Apple makes some money. If you try to dick over whomever the platform owner is, be it Steam, Valve, who's Steam, Apple for iOS, Google for Android, if you try to dick them over by trying to pull a fast one, they will yank your shit down really fucking quick. So don't try to make an app that sells other games within it and put it on Apple or Android. They will come and hunt you down. Because, oh my God, that's scary. But really, just make a, if you make a conscious effort to make people know about your product, people are going to know about your product. And if you need people to look at your product to see how good it actually is, you can reach out to reviewers, or you can find other developers that you can interact with, either virtually or in person. And chances are they're going to be more than willing to help you as long as you return the favor. All right, so I'm going to run down the rest of the Ultra Confusion social media stuff so you can basically be in touch with us in any and every single way. So I'm going to start real quick with the YouTube feed. We have a YouTube feed, and that, of course, is you go to our channel, Ultra Confusion LLC. That's all one word. Just type it into Google, YouTube, and you will find it. Did Google buy YouTube?
Yes.
So
I believe
so.
Yeah,
sure. You go to Google, you probably get redirected to YouTube. Now, one thing I do want to say is that this Thursday night show, along with a bunch of other videos, goes on to YouTube. The interesting thing is, if you are more of an audio type of person, you can also find this Thursday night hangout for the Ultra Confusion podcast on iTunes under the podcast, I think it's video games section. So definitely subscribe to that and get all the latest and greatest of the podcast, which is literally just the audio version of our Thursday night hangouts. Now, of course, you want to be completely up to date and also have another option to watching our Thursday night hangouts, because maybe Twitch is not acting or behaving the way you want it to. You can always go over to our Facebook page, where we simultaneously do both a Facebook Live and the Twitch. And that, of course, is go to Ultra Confusion, all one word, on Facebook. Like us so that you can stay in touch with any and everything that we do for Ultra Confusion, be it events, be it stories, be it reviews, and of course, random ass videos. Because I do post a lot of videos onto YouTube and Facebook. And of course, you can't go wrong with the Twitter. That's Ultra Confusio. That's Ultra Confusion without the N, because the N would destroy the internet. And also, there was a character limit when I first made it. Pretty sure that that's gone, but I'm going to keep it there because that's where everyone goes. So, Ultra Confusio. It's it's like Italian or Spanish or something. I don't know.
It's Italian. I like it.
Yeah. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I do want to point out one thing, and that is Ultra Confusion does all of this stuff pro bono. We don't get any money for any of the reviews that we do. We don't ask the reviewers or the PR companies to pay us to do like articles or reviews or videos or whatever. We do it out of our own pocket. We also pay for all of our conventions. All of our equipment comes out of our pocket. So if you like what we do and you would like to help us be able to continue to do what we do and maybe even improve on what we can do, please become our patron over at patreon.com/ultraconfusion. I will say this: if there is an aspect of Ultra Confusion that you would like to help us out on, be it like web design, art, music, if you want to help us out in any way, all you need to do is, but you don't want to do it financially, that's fine. Go over to www.ultraconfusion.com. That's our home site, and do a contact us. It goes straight to me, and we can work out something. If you want to be a reviewer, give me a heads up. We can work something out. At the end of the day, Ultra Confusion's here to help out independent developers. And actually, to be honest with you, independent creators. If you are an independent creator, be it an author, a tabletop creator, hell, a web series, movie, music, books, video games, we want to help you out. what we can, and just hit us up on that contact us page. It goes to me once again. We could work something out. You want us to maybe work out a way to do an interview to talk about your product? All right. You want to give us a product for us to review? Sure. If it's a book, then we can, of course, post our reviews on our website as well as Amazon. If it's not on Amazon, we can find another place to put our reviews. Usually my rule of thumb when it comes to books, because I'm OCD like shit, like crazy, shit, no, whatever, is that when I get the physical book, because I always try to get the physical book, a physical copy of the book, I get that copy signed, and then it goes up on my shelf of honor. And then I immediately go over to Kindle and buy the digital version so I can actually read the book and I can tell you about the book. I will not break into those books that are signed. I won't do it because I want to preserve the awesomeness that is the author. So, ta-da! But anyways, let me see if there's anything else. Oh yes, if you do want to do a one-time donation, there's a couple ways to do it. We have a PayPal site. We also have a donation button on Twitch. So if you tune into our Twitch show, which of course happens we do our show every Thursday night at www.twitch.tv/alterconfusion. That's our Thursday night show at 8 p.m. Eastern Time every single Thursday. We also do a stream, or I do a stream, on Sundays and Tuesdays, starting at 8 p.m. and running till 11 p.m., where I'm streaming an assortment of games. Yes, I know. It's basically been Smite and then another game. I'm going to be honest with you. I am like way into Smite right now because I'm so excited. The Smite World Championship is literally like a month away. I've got my ticket. I've already gotten my digital loot password. I've already included in my game, and I just want to.
Is it at Cobb Energy Center again?
Yep.
Nice.
Yes, it's going to be awesome. But there's a donate button on our Twitch. It's in the Twitch panel right below the video that you can click on that. You can donate whatever amount you want to, and that goes to us. Or if you want to do the PayPal thing, of course, go to www.alterconfusion.com and click that donate button, and that's a one-time donation. Patreon is a monthly donation. If you want to have a donation for Alter Confusion, you can put any denomination you want to. You want to pledge $1 a month, cool. You want to pledge $20 a month, that would be awesome. It doesn't, okay, so I know a lot of people are like, this is kind of weird, but I just want to say this because and this is very important to me. I am not looking to make money on Alter Confusion. I'm looking to basically be able to keep the lights on for Alter Confusion. The most important thing for me is to help the independent creators out there get a little bit of recognition. So with the money that we get, it goes strictly towards equipment maintenance, our ability to go to conventions, so con badges, the electricity for fan tables, or if we have to pay for fan tables, and of course all the props that we bring, like the TV, which I still have not replugged in, the convention PC, which I hopefully have finally fixed so it doesn't do that stupid error every single time we power it off. And then of course like the convention banner, and then hopefully if we gain enough money we can do like Alter Confusion buttons and t-shirts and lanyards and stuff like that. Oh man, oh no, I had something. Hold on, give me a second here. Fuck, it's gone. I had it. I had something I wanted to add in. Oh yes. If you go over to our Patreon page, you may see that there are certain goals that if achieved, something will happen. Currently, if I get $40, if Alter Confusion makes $40 a month, the webcomic will come back, which a lot of people are like, I want the webcomic back. I'm like, well, donate some money. Like, I can't do it right now. I'm like, then tell your friends. The webcomic was, oh God, it's over 400 episodes of it, and it's been dormant for about 3 years now, but I might be able to, break out the tablet and start the new adventures of Hawk and Steve. Yeah.
Bring it back.
I'm trying.
I know.
But someone needs to, I need help, okay?
We need you.
To be completely honest with you, Alter Confusion has been running out of my wallet since 2007. So that is 9 years. Next year will be my 10th year. And actually, technically, February of 2017 will mark
Year
the 10th year.
10.
Yeah,
We have to do a little celebration.
I know. We might do something, but I'm not promising. But we might do something. I don't know. But anyways, so please be our patron. I think that I've hit every single thing that I need to hit. I will tell you this right now. Ladies and gentlemen, the Thursday Night Hangout is all about you, audience members. So if you ever have any questions, topics, suggestions that you would like for us to discuss or maybe or bring up, please hit us up on any of the social media stuff. We will incorporate it or converse with you to try to get a better idea of what you're exactly looking for us to talk about, and we will incorporate it into a Thursday Night Hangout. Now, of course, if it's something that maybe doesn't really fit into a Thursday Night Hangout, we can then try to take it somewhere else. I am more than open to conversing about or trying to find different ways of bringing up topics, maybe not on a Thursday Night Hangout, to the masses. I'm starting to dabble around with maybe having a round table where I bring on audience members in kind of like a Skype or Google Hangout type of fashion. But I will say this right here and right now, you'll have to be a patron in some regard, because it's not ain't gonna be free. Because I'll be dedicating some time to make sure everything's up to snuff and whatnot. But anyways, we have now gone over our limit, so I apologize to all of those who were hoping that we would talk a little bit longer. But understand this, we will always be back every single Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time to give you the latest and greatest that we've got. So without further ado, thank you for tuning in to the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout for myself, Charlie, and Jesse. It's been a pleasure to give you everything coming out of our heads, our hearts, our heads, our heads, our mouths, and of course our hearts. Next week, of course, I don't know who the hell is going to be on the show, but we're going to have a show. And of course, remember that Saturdays and Tuesdays, there is a gaming stream. If you have any game suggestions, please hit us up, and I'll see if I can make it happen. Yes, I do kind of go towards the indie games. However, Smite is no longer an indie game, but when it first came out, it was very indie. But once again, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.